That was yeah, what's up? First time I looked at the chat, I was thinking about you coming more said that was such an evil motherfucker. Hey, Stephanie. What's up, buddy? Art, what gun? Oh, I'm pretty stoned. That weed I got last night fucking kicked my ass. I didn't even think about it. Chill out. You know me, I'm just doing my thing. Hard. They want it. bring myself to drive a few miles and waste gas. Yeah. Raider, no wonder they're laying on the ground flat. Have to burn them. Voila. Tequila. The lid. Whip it real good. Wear a shirt. I had to put on, but I'm going anyway. Got 80. Whatever, the flea market. Why not? And then, grass is gonna see like a stick in your socks like needles. I'll walk around to avoid some things. Yeah, it's perfect for you, by the way. Let's talk a little. No, I can't see the chat now. Right. It's not like a good picture. That's good. Please stop. Nothing else. Oh. Oh. That's hot. Hot turtle. No. Okay. Little sunbeam. Guys, flowers. There. Check out like a camouflage. Yeah. Every time it's the same. Huh? Right, you know, oh, it feels so good out here. Easy. Truck in. Up trailer. Hey, see you later. Okay, a pig. Rabbit. Hey, Kenny, if you're here, look. like a rabbit head. Boom. You know, kind of step when you want to. Here's the old dragon underneath it. This is coming off. Whoop. God. Reminds me of summer day when I was a kid. No worries in the world. About keeping the air in the bike tires. We'd be in the swimming pool every day. Where all the babies were. That looks kind of weird. Maybe boom basket. I like walking there, guys. That's what it was. There's a highway sign say 13 and 13. But I don't trust people. I'll let them go by. Can't dodge them if you can't see them coming. Cool. Oh, that's good. Don't breathe. Yeah. Wipers. Okay. A big wipers like that. Ain't quite good enough for a cobbler. That's cool. Won't get burned up. You don't like being out in the sun? Better stick to yourself. Right here. Why I don't eat much today? I get more juice right now from the food I eat. Energy's energy. No matter what form it comes in, as long as you can digest. I do subscribe. Oh, too easy, people. Hold on. Oh, God. Okay. 18. 2 cases right there. Maybe younger than my kids. I don't argue my own kids. So I can feel that way. Crazy. I didn't listen to anything he said. When I left, just shut it off. I ain't watching it. I don't care. Nope. Not stupid anymore. Stooping. No thinking. Nothing negative. It's my prerogative. Hack off this. Oh, come on. Hi.
Hello.
Okay. Weird. Maybe vintage. Do it with them. You never know what you need. Huh. Fruity. Sorry about that. I thought I hit the button. I know. I put the. Oh, you got some towel. I didn't pay attention. Oh, man. Sorry, brother.
Hey, you're good, man.
Hey.
I got it.
Antenna.
Sorry.
Look at the antenna.
Yeah, is there still any Radio Shacks around there where you're at?
No, they're all closed down everywhere, I think.
Yeah, that's the same here. That used to be a big deal when I was a kid.
Wireless remote control extender. And it's a pyramid with an antenna. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I wonder if you yeah. That's almost worth $2 just to paint it. I got the cord for the TV is one thing I was doing.
Oh yeah.
Hell, it may work because out there if somebody moves and leaves anything in the room, they throw it away. They don't even check it. They just throw it away.
Yeah, that electronic stuff, man. I used to just pitch it, and hell, I got that job over at the plant, man, and started working on them boards. That was, having to solder on them boards and put relays on them and stuff in them machines. And I finally I was looking at them, I'm like, man, that shit really ain't no big deal. Them boards each do a separate thing, and they're just that board's designed for that operation.
Hey, $4 for that.
And I come to find out that those electronic circuits, anytime they're involved, they heat up and expand and cool off and contract. They've only got so many cycles they'll go through, and then there's a crack in that solder somewhere, dude. And it's really simple to fix.
Look at that. Look at this. $30. And look at got a grill top, microwave.
That's what are you in, like a secondhand store?
It says Council of the Blind, yeah.
What is it? Council
of the Blind. Flea market. All the money goes to Council of the Blind. I'm looking for a hair dryer. I ain't seen one for somebody. I ain't seen one.
Yeah, hell, I just woke up, man. We was dead asleep there. Well, I just woke up there just to roll over or something. It was about 3:15 and the phone went off, and it was my mother-in-law. She's having chest pain real bad.
Is that where you were at last night?
Yes, and hell, we was on the road by 3:30 in the morning, headed all the way up there. She lives in Courthouse. Hell, that's almost 100 miles in one way.
Oh man, how long did you stay?
We was up there 3 or 4 hours because we didn't get. What time we get home, honey? 10?
Probably about 9.
Yeah, 9 or 10, something like that. So we was gone 6 hours. But they got her moved over to where a cardiologist is at. A little bit closer to here.
How old is she?
How old is she, honey?
74.
74.
She's got heart problems.
And she's got heart problems. She's got a stent in. And here's what they're afraid of is
that's $6.
Yeah. Hey, Rowan, good to see you, brother.
Rowan? I don't know, man.
Yeah, Rowan's in the chat. She had a stent put in there a few years back. And she had a stroke, so she's got a foot that she has trouble with. You can't hardly tell it. I mean, she walks okay and everything, but she's got just a little bit of a dead foot, kind of, and she's getting tripped on things. So she tripped her at her house the other day and fell right on her chest and tried to catch herself with her arms and spread her arms out, and she's been having chest pain ever since then. And I was sitting there, I was kind of thinking, well, she's pulled a muscle or something, but what they mentioned is she might have knocked that stent loose in her heart.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, because she was sitting there hooked up to that machine, and there was something it wasn't liking because it kept alarming and stuff while we were sitting there. And her heartbeat's wrong. That's what it is.
If I've seen this before. See, we got buttons, old buttons.
Yeah, my grandma's
$1.81.
Had jars of buttons like that.
Oh, I have mason jars full. I any more of these frisbees, like this ain't got enough weight. Easy.
But buttons are kind of nice to sit around and go through like Duquesne does them coins. I was always kind of.
Oh, I stopped collecting everything, dude. At pawn shop, I had every kind of knick-knack, paddywhack. Hey, look, Emily! Ooh, I know everything.
Dude,
You
I'll
need to
tell
click
you
her
what,
heels
man.
3 times and go back to Oz.
I went back and watched that dude, and she's fucking falsely accusing everybody,
Hey, man,
of being
you watch
child.
that video, you can
fucking
see it though.
Yeah.
You can see it. Her eyes when you slow that down. That
Yeah,
shit's scary, dude.
That shit burns my fucking ass, dude. That's too fucking far, man. Accusing people of that shit, a whole fucking group of people like that. She's a fucking idiot.
Hey, and you know, all the people that came over, like Bamboo was triggered from the when I was in that chat, and then that Mark Skywalker dude, you know, the people that were in his chat were all 3 people that came to the stream: Darlene, Camelina, and somebody else. They were the only ones over there in his stream the whole night. Then they came to ours and fucking.
Yeah. That's their fucking
That's sad.
You know.
Well, divide and conquer, they weren't lying, you know? They said divide and conquer, they said it'd be brother and sister, and so it's happening. I mean,
that's exactly what it's coming down to, man.
it is. Look at that, the Osmonds. Look, the Osmonds.
I can't believe how they're smoking out here lately, man. Just Jiminy Christmas. It's one every day, it seemed like.
Yeah. Well, and a 1 and a 2. Look, Mel to tell us.
Yep. And hell, when he's saying, you couldn't tell there's anything wrong with him.
Here's Bobby Sherman. There's Bobby Sherman again. We got easy come, easy go on it. No. Man, I used to have guns. 45.
I remember there used to be this plastic thing. It was about this tall that kind of leaned over to the side. You could put a whole stack of them 45s.
Yeah, and the ones I had, they're like some of them were like a poodle, and they were like a spring, and you could stick them down in there too. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, and it would sit there, and it would drop. You could put a stack of records on that thing, like 20 records, man, and it would drop them down on there.
Yeah. And I had a DVD or a CD player that held 50 CDs, like a jukebox. Actually, I had an 8-track changer that held 4 8-tracks. Had 4 heads on it.
Huh.
Isn't that crazy? It had a sleeve they slid in. You slid that into the 8-track.
I know when I got my driver's license in 1986, we were still listening to 8-track. Still had 8-track players in most of the cars and stuff back in.
Yeah, I had AM radio. You had to get an FM converter.
Yeah. My car had just
that adapter and all that shit. Yeah.
I had a 75 Plymouth Scamp with a 318 in it. It was my first car. I tore all that badging and stuff off of it and made it look like a dart, because that's basically what it was.
Yeah.
It just had to.
I had a 66 Olds Dynamic 88 and had a 425 Red Rocket in it.
Yeah. Them old
I got a couple of drag racing tickets, 2 drag racing tickets in that one.
Yeah. That's what we did all the time. Always souped them things up. That car ended up with a 360 in it with a 4-speed after I got in the military. I drove that thing for a long time. I drove it all through the Marine Corps. Used to swoop home in that thing.
I had a 52 Ford truck. It was red, and I had samples done on the side of it. Had a overhead 6 the first year they came out, 52. They had a flathead the year before that.
Yeah.
Hey, look, let's go. We can go around the store now. Duck Dynasty, look. Duck Dynasty, look.
Yeah.
That's $4. Probably cost $50 new. See, Sprinkler Cardinals, they give away hats there. That's Royals.
I used to watch them guys.
Yeah, I did for a little bit. They're funny. You know, reality TV, they're just not real. They're not actors. They're just people.
Yeah, but
you know, they practice. They still set it all up and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they script everything. That's why I quit watching it. Just you got to make something out of it.
I can't. You know, I used to watch.
And then
I watched Survivor a couple years, but I can't keep watching that crap because
I know it was
different people.
I know it was the biggest wad of bullshit there ever was. Do you remember that show that old Trapper John was on? That Bigfoot. Okay, I watched that because it was so funny. I am telling you, that one, man, where they go to that no shoes Ralph or whatever that guy's name is. That's one of the funniest episodes of that there ever was, man. I can't remember what that guy's name was. Or they went to his house.
Look, saved, ugly, changed, wreckage, worthless, stupid. Yeah, that's really nice. That really teaches kids something good. God, everything it could be bad. Hey, there's the bear crew, but not the bad crew, the bad guy crew.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you put that on a shirt so a kid will cut their wrist? You know what I mean?
Boy, that music they listen to nowadays is some rough shit, man. I was watching a show on that the other day, and the stuff makes you feel bad to listen to, and how they're all partying to the shit and stuff.
I know. At least back then, ours wasn't. Well, it probably was demonic, but it didn't affect me. No.
Yeah, I think that was a 69 Dodge Charger is what the Dukes of Hazzard, the General Lee was.
Yeah. They used to be everywhere too, because they were big. They were big and heavy, and they're hard to tear up.
You know, they were everywhere until they filmed that show, and they used 1,800 of them, I think, during the film of that show to destroy them, if I remember right, or 800 or 1,800.
When I was in high school, my best friend, his dad had the 02 car painted just like that and raced up at the fairgrounds against Rusty Wallace, Mark Martin, and Dick Trickle, Larry Phillips, all the guys.
Huh.
Yeah, they raced but fairgrounds I walked through. They used to race there, dirt track or NASCAR. I mean asphalt.
Yeah, I was going to say that sounded like NASCAR guys there.
Yeah, it's back in the
Trickle and stuff.
like 70s. And man, that's right. And there's houses all around there, but back then people didn't care about noise. I like to watch the races. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know that racetrack that we went to there in our hometown, it was just a little dirt track, and that community got together and fought that. We know the people doing that, and we're friends with them, and they had a fight to put that in there.
They're in Mona, Aurora, Bolivar, they're all over. They also
helps only on
they race
Saturday.
go-karts. They race go-karts at the airport.
Yeah, we used to race go-karts at this track. That's how my boys got started out. Well, my one boy raced a little bit. My oldest one, the one that comes on here, and my youngest one, he raced for years.
This is real pearls, and it's $2 right here. Pearls aren't worth shit unless you buy them on the island because no one believes they're real. That's why they're cheap.
Yeah.
The only time you buy them is when you're buying them right off the people that have a piece of paper. All right, geez, yeah.
I don't know.
If you rub a pearl on your teeth, it'll feel like sand. A real one will feel just like sandpaper.
I know people try to pay for stuff a lot with jewelry. They come in with gun shop and stuff like that and want to pay for something with a ring or something. I couldn't do it because I didn't know what the hell I was looking at.
The Statue of Liberty says 1 year. Weird. A lot of that shit's sterling silver, right? I used to raise these fishes. Paradise gouramis right here.
Yeah, Rowan said Sass gets some of those beads there are hit with the ladies during Mardi Gras.
Yeah, I got thousands and thousands of beads back at the place in jars. But I always look because I know what I'm looking for, though, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I said.
I just take it, if I see something I like, I just take it apart and use it for what I want to use it for, you know what I mean?
You could lay costume jewelry down there next to good shit from the Queen of England or something. I couldn't tell you the difference between that shit. I haven't got that.
The Salvation Army and the DAV, I bought, they were on the counter. I bought 2 necklaces for like one was 50 cents, one was 99 cents, and I got 700 out of one and 900 out of the other. They were gold.
Damn, I missed about half what you said there. You cut out, but I heard the 700 out of one.
Yeah,
out of the
a lot of times you can buy real gold at these places because they don't know, or somebody would have like broke the clasp off and took one off the silver necklace and put on there, and that makes you think it's fake, you know.
Oh yeah, because sometimes them's marked. I saw a guy showing that the marking was on the clasp on some of them necklaces and stuff, because there's nowhere else to stamp it.
Well, and also the clasp and everything's welded, soldered. You know, it's not gonna. If it's real, they're not gonna leave just a circle on there. And because you can get gold is soft when you hook on something that bends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So usually if it ain't soldered, you know, together with silver, probably not real. Silver's 95, so you
Hey, Alien Believers just showed up there in the chat.
Hey, what's up? How's Tony over there?
JJ, Crafty, Rowan, good to see you guys.
Yeah, that's the people I knew.
Who's over there?
I got
Allen.
I don't know, I got them dropping like flies, but guess what? They're flies.
Yeah. Yeah, I know my subscribers went down too. I had 100 and some there for a while, but
You mean,
I don't care.
There wasn't really subscribers. It's just
Well,
like
then- And then all them people was saying, I blocked you. I'm like, okay, hell, I ain't never even been to your damn channel. They're coming up being nasty to me, telling me that I'm blocked and shit. And I'm like, well, I ain't never been over. Well, I don't even tell them that, but hell, I ain't been to any of them channel.
Oh, I know. That's like Emily. I never went to her channel until she started talking.
Yeah, I didn't. I never went over until somebody come and told me, hey, Emily's over there talking about you in a live stream and it ain't good. And I was like, Emily, you sure it's Emily and not Emma? He said, no, it's Emily. Whatever, that wasn't no shit. And I was like, oh man. And then that really went to shit. Fucking accused me of something like that. Lie. And fucking falsely accuse me and my brothers of shit like that. Fuck that, man. I don't know why you gotta come from and sitting there saying you're talking love and everything, man. That fucking girl.
I was always
right
taught you just consider the source.
Yeah, she screwed clear the fuck up, man.
Hey, Kim.
Sad.
How are you? Fine, how are you? Okay.
Yep. Wait. Yeah, I was at the limo company one time, and they came and got me out of the room, parts room, and there's some traveling salesman trying to sell them fake gold. I went out there and they said, "Let me see it," and I pulled on it and snapped it in half. I told him to get out of there.
Yeah. It's amazing the amount of people that get ripped off.
Oh yeah, every day, every minute,
man.
every second. It's like my grandson. I told my grandson everything was no good. They make stuff to break down. And he goes, "Yeah, but I thought it was trash. Don't we recycle everything?" I said, "Exactly. It's trash."
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
is.
a lot of it. I think 90% of the shit you buy in Walmart's junk the day you walk out of there with it. It's trash then. It just.
Yeah.
Well, that engineered deficiency, man, that stuff's getting worse and worse. These damn components for cars and stuff like that. There's some of these ignition components and shit like that you got to replace every couple of years, and you can't buy nothing that'll last any
I'm sure
longer.
that the electronic parts are probably programmed when to go out.
They are. They got what they call engineered deficiency. I know that for a freaking fact, man, because they got a business plan that shows, like when they sell an automobile or a refrigerator or a washer or anything, how much money they make off of that over its expected lifespan.
Yeah.
That's it. That's in their business model, man. Fucking, that's engineered deficiency. If you can write that down, you know when it's going to fail. That means you understand that what I'm talking about, that thermal expansion and contraction, how many cycles that piece will go through before it fails, and you could build it to that spec, you know.
We used to get everything cryogenically frozen. It lasts a lot longer.
Yeah, guns that need to be highly accurate, you do that to them. You do the contour work on the barrel and everything, and then you put
It makes things like 100 times harder too. It actually changes the DNA,
the
genetic
molecular
code
structure.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It don't change the code. It don't change the.
It just like the molecules. Yeah.
It lines the molecules up in the same kind of in the same way heat treating does, but with less.
Are you 55?
Okay,
it'll be $1.05.
Okay. That's the first time I ever got a senior discount.
Might as well get it. You can.
I feel special. I remember when I couldn't drive 55.
There you go. Thank you, man.
Thank you. That's the first time in my life I got money taken off because I'm old.
Yeah, I'm not old enough to get that. I'm only 50.
I don't feel any different than I did when I was out running around on a bike when I was 15. I feel the same exactly. I mean, I think better, but I'm the same. Same attitude.
Yeah, after I got my system cleaned out and got this cancer beat down and stuff, I feel like a young man again too, man. I'm down these hills here. Like I said, I bought that sport quad and started racing 4-wheelers again and shit. And it's kind of unbelievable to do that right in the middle of my life and come out of as bad a shape I was. But I just changed the shit that I was eating and quit taking all that medicine and started getting exercise and growing my own food.
What kind of temperature you got today?
It's pretty hot and muggy out there. Let me look here.
Yeah. It's about 80 something.
What the hell is this? I just clicked on my weather and it's bringing up stock market shit. There ain't no weather at all. What did I do here? I had something messed up yesterday.
Whether you like it or not.
Yeah, when I had this sitting in my lap, I did something to my weather tab there. I ain't even gonna be able to use that. Now I'll look on my daggone phone.
You know, I was supposed to get a hairdryer, but there wasn't one in there. So I feel like it. I'm gonna go pick black.
I gotta go get glasses too. Oh.
I didn't like you. I stayed on my carrots when I was young. Yeah, I ate everything. We had like 7 when I was younger. And we had stepbrothers. Whoever ate fast got the best. You know, it wasn't enough for everybody. You know.
Yeah.
And we ate everything. If you didn't eat what they cooked, then you don't eat. That's the only way it always was. I mean, I ate it. I really have. Only thing I don't really, I'll eat it, but I like okra, but I don't like boiled okra. It's kind of like baby food. You know?
Yeah, I don't care.
I mean,
I
have ate it, but I don't prefer it. You know what I mean?
My wife, she fries asparagus in a skillet here with a little bit of butter and I'll go cheese shredded on top of it. Man, that shit's good.
I don't like them fruit cakes either. They're kind of nasty, I think.
Yeah. Hey, Dawn, good to see you.
I mean, yeah. I've ate it before, but yeah, I don't know. It's just too weird. You know what I mean? No, sorry. I don't smoke. That work?
I'm going to.
I'm trying to put that in the chat. There we go. My screen went large and in charge for some reason. It's hard to see out here, you know it?
Sun.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, it's only 71 degrees here, but the humidity's through the roof. It's actually not too bad.
That's exactly what I did not try to do, but it says, I tried to put the link in there. What the hell?
Yep. Hey, I'll be right back. I want to run up and see if my blackberries is ripe yet. I'll be back here in just about 2 minutes.
Right on. Yeah, Come on up, Daniel. 12. I'm going to keep walking for a while. Yeah, I go through the homeless bill, you know what I mean? See how the homeless homies are doing. Just flooded down through there a few times. You know how I am, you never know. Damn thing's buckled up. Hang on. I'm going to see if it'll come up here. Man, tire weight. I think I'm off all this lead. Possibly easy to make sinkers out of me real quick. That's supposed to be some more shit. Like it is. I got thousands of them. Pull down straps. They get lost. Half of them probably get lost. People put on. Maybe he was a boxer. People are idiots, though. Oh, we'll trash the earth. Quick kick. That's hot. Oh. Thank you. I can't tell.
Yeah, they still ain't ready.
Oh,
Yeah, they ain't doing very good. All of my,
I know,
all my blackberries, the little green.
They're not. I don't know. They're not very big ones that I've got lately.
Yeah, all of these that's up there, man. Hell, the green are only about a 1/4 inch in diameter, and hell, usually in the
I found them.
time of year.
Every place I find them, they're different size. So they're usually green till like the second week of July here. That's when they usually start coming on. Everything's ahead of time. I mean, everything in nature I know, like a month and a half. Because all the grass is already going to seed and shit. You know?
Yeah.
But we got a lot of rain. That's why.
Well, we have been getting a bunch of rain. I'll tell you, that lightning does something
for 2
too.
years.
Because the old lady planted this garden out here, and it just, it popped through the ground. Just a few of them be popped through, and a couple of days later, we had some lightning, and went out there, and everything was sticking out of the ground about an inch. Yeah. And we went another few days, and we had lightning again. And took another great big growth spurt. There's something to them lightning storms and shit.
Oh yeah, it's juicing them or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's that Tesla fertilizer. Huh?
Yeah. Well, hey man, you see that tomato plant that they put in that pressure? They built that dome and raised the pressure in there to what
it went all the way to the ceiling. I can't remember how many tomatoes it produced. Thousands.
It turned into a tree.
Yeah, thousands of tomatoes.
It literally turned into a tree, man. They said how many tons they got off of it.
Yeah, well, they always have said that they're until recently they were pretty. Oh, look right here. Nuisance violation notice. Look, all them homeless people. Yeah.
Oh, really?
So I'm not going to go in there. That's all I know.
Hey, they'll blame you for being a homeless dude.
Oh, if you carry a backpack anywhere, that's just what everybody thinks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can see right there, though. There's probably 100 people in there living. And none of them are on the city council, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I wonder where they're expecting them to live for throwing them out of all the woods and stuff.
Yeah, that's private property.
You ever watch that channel of German in Venice?
On TV?
No, on YouTube. It's called German in Venice, and this guy immigrated over from Germany years ago, and he just rides around on this electric scooter there in Venice Beach, and he's filming what's going on, because them people, they had all them homeless people camped out there on Venice Beach, and then them,
that's cool, ain't it?
Yep.
Looks like a wheel is hubcap. I don't need it. I just saw it shining. I always look for shiny stuff, you mean?
And that place there, like Muscle Beach, there where Arnold always worked out, and all them videos and all them movies was made and stuff. That whole boardwalk was covered with homeless people. Yeah, Rose watches him. Yeah, wow. It's unreal, man. They finally ran him out of there, man. And you ought to have seen that, brother. They was coming in there with backhoes and skid steers, and they'd get a load of that junk out of them like handball court shit, and you ought to have seen the rats running around. And there was a cop standing there, and hell, this rat ran out and was trying to climb his leg. They was just going, unbelievable the amount. They had to, I was kind of pissed when I first saw that. I'm like, man, them people got to have some place to live and shit. But I can see the problem too, man, when them rats started running out of there and shit. And then, like I said,
hey, that's an old hitching post right there. They used to be all over in front of every house around here. They still had them in the front yard, kitchen post for the horse.
Oh, hitching posts. Yeah, those are still around here, man. You can see them things built up like that. And some of them's got a knob on top of them, and they used to have iron rings that hang on both sides of that knob. Like,
hey, you know, back there where the homeless place was, until I got 10 feet away from it, it was cutting out real bad. When you were talking, it was like, only right in front of the house for all the, that's weird shit there, you mean?
yeah, kind of makes you wonder.
Yeah. Because, you know, I went in the tunnel and a metal went in, the concrete went in, and the phone didn't go out like that.
Yeah, I remember that. You was in there. Well, you had the camera on too, and none of that. It didn't even get a bad picture or nothing on it.
No, so that's kind of weird. Like an oak tree. See, there's that vine. They cut it. Look, they would have killed that tree. See, they cut it up.
Yep.
Them things are deadly.
I got trees up here right now that's been strangulated by them and are dead. I just cut one of the little ones down
And
the
you
other
catch
day.
them when they're small. You know what I mean? You can get them when they're small, pull them off your hand, but they go fast. They grow really fast.
Yeah. I got to wait until my boy gets over here because I got a great big tree that's been dead for many years, and cutting them down is dangerous because the limbs come. Just as soon as that tree moves, it'll snap limbs off in the top of them to come down and kill you.
I've seen those. I've seen lots of YouTube videos where people drop the trees on their house in the trailer car.
Now this is up on the back side of my property on the face of this ridge here.
Yeah. Wow.
But it's a big old poplar tree.
Yeah. I knew somebody that lived there. They stole my phone when I helped them move. And they said they told them they're going to tear the house down because the landlord died. Somebody else bought it. And look, they remodeled it. Huh? It's got a big old basement in it, full basement.
Yeah, really. Yeah. That's right, brother. If you divide the wealth evenly down here, every man could live like a king, man. Well,
this is in the country, you know what I mean? Can't you tell? Just by the way the houses are. And look at the trees, you know. Down here, though, there's a walnut tree. This used to be the country. You know what I mean? Yeah. This was the country not that long ago. You can tell, it's a dead-end street.
Yeah, and I see around here, man, you're in these little towns, and as soon as you get out, dude, you're in the country. I mean, BFE. There ain't much in between around here.
Look, there's a magnolia tree. This place here, though.
Yeah, those things are beautiful in the spring, man, when they bloom out. My gosh.
Oh, yeah, they're huge. Beautiful. That's a lilac right there.
She used to have a great big one in the front.
Look at this place. Look at that. I mean, they got flowers everywhere.
Oh, boy, that's somebody's house, or is that
Yeah, that's somebody's house.
Damn.
They keep this hedge off. They own the land all the way up down here. And I knew that guy that lived back there said they were real pricks, too, about people getting in their yard or anything. This is Rose of Sharon right here. I did some like a potpourri or a topiary, you know, the round ball. See, there's one bloom. I also did them like we did them like a weeping willow.
We used to swing in them things when we was kids, man.
Yeah, there's an old country house, you can tell.
You know, man, I ain't seen one of them weeping willow trees in a long time. There must have been some kind of blight that took him out around here.
Look at that wild deer on camera. Like.
Yeah.
See, that's a lilac too.
Was that a hackberry tree that sign was on with that real rough?
No, it's an elm. It's an elm. Big old elm.
Oh, okay. Man, you know them hackberries, dude. You cut them damn things down, your hands will be sore after handling that shit. It's got them big old veins all over the outside of them ribs, however that bark is. That shit's good firewood, dude.
That's a wild cherry tree. Yeah, this land back here is owned by a few houses. There's nothing in it. You know, even though it says no trespassing, you just got to get over the fence where nobody's seeing you, and then it's downhill from there. You don't go in the woods anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Plus, they just tell you to leave first time, you know?
I don't know. I never did.
Here's Poke, see? Just like this. It's like spinach. There's wild grapes.
You said it was pokeweed?
Yeah, poke things.
That's still kind of a salad thing around
See?
here.
Poke, yeah, look, see, it's going to seed to get those purple seeds. And, you know, they're dye. You can put more paint on and shit with them, you know. There's all kind of shit there.
Hey, you know, we was talking there yesterday. I said something about that milk thistle. And I didn't mean milk thistle, man. I was talking about that gypsum. Remember, you know that gypsum weed?
Yeah.
Got that? Okay, that's what I was talking about that made them goats go crazy and shit. They get in that stuff and eat it, or if you feed it to them, ground up in something, they get a hold of that, and it's like an hallucinogen or something. But it's gypsum.
Yeah, that thistle just sucks up their stomach and clogs them up.
Yeah, I think
That's up.
Well, hell, not a goat. A daggone goat can hit frickin' barbed wire, man. Them things, shit, they'll eat your daggone shirt off your back if you stand still long enough. I never seen anything eat shit like they do. Everything
Pigs.
down there. Hell,
Pigs eat anything.
I get down there.
Goats do too, you know. Goats don't eat anything.
I can take his daggone computer down there and show you he's got everything in the world. He can get his neck through that fence and shit. It's chewed up. Everything down there. He chews on it.
I've never went down this creek right here in this part. Never. Look at the old fence made out of tree.
Yep. I used I'd say 75% of our fence posts are trees. I just bought them insulators.
Look, there's a Christmas tree. Look. Hey, look at there. There's an angel.
Yep.
Look at this. Isn't that funny? Probably the only thing on it. Why would somebody leave an angel on there?
That's a cherubim is what that is, man. Them things are cherubims.
Yeah.
Them little things like that. Fucking no good.
Yeah, I know. Angels are men anyway. They're not some fairy looking thing. They're warriors. Warriors, come out and play. See it? That was a good skirmish. I can use these beads.
The kitty cats are finally starting to come out and play. They've been
I'm looking like some arrowheads here. There's some good pieces of flint out here. Like,
hey, you can see down here, he's got everything clear the fuck up. He's ripped all the. Yeah, look, my driveway, I still ain't got my daggone tractor. It's got the blade on it over there. I got tire chains on the back of it for wintertime plowing snow. And that freaking tire chain, I put that in third gear in high range and was flying driveway because it started raining. And that chain came out and caught that floorboard, dude, and bent that floorboard down into the tire and shit, and it's sitting in the yard locked up. And then we had that big gully washer the other day, and my driveway washed out, and I ain't got no way to fix it. And
you don't?
Well, I haven't had a chance to fix it. It's sitting down there, and I about got to have another. My wife ain't strong enough to help, so I'm gonna have to start that thing up and put it in gear and put a bar in there or something, and pry on that at the same time so it don't cut that damn tire when it comes back through it. I gotta wait till one of my boys get down here or something. I gotta get my bag going. Next time I get tired of driving through that shit. What's on, little man?
Yeah.
You pretty boy. Are you pretty fella? And this was my best blackberry patch right here, where I had to put them cattle. That whole hill right there was blackberries and raspberry vines.
They ate them all?
They got them all. Yeah, they stripped them. That's the first thing they done. Went around and stripped everything.
That's crazy. It's like you can put a goat on a few acres and it'll have it all gone before you know it.
Oh yeah, it's something else. Now they will eat everything. Hell, they'll eat the bark. You got to protect the trees and shit. They'll eat the bark off.
They'll eat cans, everything. I know. They'll eat your toys.
There's the old lady's garden.
I think I knew somebody's back garden. I think it's ivy. Is that cool?
Tomatoes running out her ass.
Are you doing?
Hey,
Are you farting seeds?
Yeah. Hey man.
Yeah, it snaps on. Probably came off a mower or something.
You just take your your seed potatoes and cut them up so you got your eyes, and go out there and lay them right on top of the ground. And then just take your old grass. I don't recommend your old grass because I kind of screwed it up a little bit, but get straw and straw them, and those shoots will grow up through that, and your tomatoes or your potatoes will be laying on top of the ground.
Yeah,
you don't have to
straw.
You just roll that straw back with a pitchfork, and there's all your taters laying in there clean. Yep, it's the best way to grow them I ever saw.
They get more oxygen to them and stuff too. They grow good.
Right, brother. Well, look how they're growing out there, man. And you got potatoes mounded. For some reason they just don't do as good. Where'd you learn that from, Mary?
What?
How to grow them potatoes on top of the ground like that?
I watched one of the homestead.
And another thing, those onions were all planted right on top of the ground. She just went around with her onion sets and just stuck them in the ground. You could see half of them sticking out of the ground, and those are the best onions we've had.
You can grow house plants in lava rocks. You know that?
Yeah,
because the lava rocks hold water, and the roots will get in there.
Some of them little round pellet things laying out there. That's what was in all these flower pots here when we moved in.
Yeah,
they had plants. They had plants growing in them, and they're called. Oh shit! What's them little round things called when I looked them up? Hydroton, and it's expanded clay pellets, and they had it in all the planters. And the reason why is because you only have to water them about half as much, I guess, when you got them in there, because they soak water up inside of them like a little reservoir. Them things is laying all over the place. I didn't know what the hell they were.
Look at the old moonshine. It's Clorox bleach bottles, what it actually is. Yep, this is just like, you can tell the waters came through here recently. Let's see part of one.
Yeah, he's our pet bull, Don. We got him about a year ago, and he was supposed to be we was going to band him and turn him into a steer and eat him. And we got him how old was he, honey? 2 or 3 days old. He'd just right off his mama, so we had to bottle feed him. And we brought him home, and that was a mistake as we fell in love with him, and now we got a daggone pet bull back here. And that other one, he is a steer. Just don't get close to him, but we ain't doing that bottle capture.
Tire, part of a, look here. And all this stuff, look at here. Modern convenience. Stupid USB cord. That shit makes me puke.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Oh, it's amazing what this country throws away, man.
It's waste because we waste everything.
Yeah.
They come out with a newer and better one every year, so nobody even wants the old one. People don't even try to garage sell anything anymore. They just throw everything the fuck away. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm just suburban. Like I said, my family lives a long ways away, man, and we run back and forth in it. And we got that suburban because we got all them grandkids and a haul. We get them in there and then put all their shit in there. You got to have something like that or a van, but I need something 4-wheel drive. And I was just out there today in my oil change thing. I checked it when we got out after making that. We drove so far today. And we've had that now for 6 months and put 10,000 miles on it. And I figured it up and it burnt. How many gallons of gasoline did I say it, son bitch burnt? Figure that out. It made me sick. In the past 6 months, we spent $2,000 on gasoline in that thing.
Holy moly.
And let's see here, divided by 2.85. Yeah, 700 gallons of gasoline we burn in that in 6 months.
Wow. Look at that axe head. Hey, see the groove? Look at that.
What was it, brother?
Axe head. I quit carrying all that heavy shit home. I got tons of that crap. Probably gonna just every time I go in the woods, I'm gonna fill up a backpack and put it back. Try to fucking with it.
Yeah, Rowan. But the United States, man, it uses 25% of the world's resources, dude. It's unreal. A quarter of it for.
Yeah, and we also feed 40% of the world too.
Yeah, that's true. And I'll tell you what, this winter we're going to see the repercussions of what's going on here. Hey, where's that at here in Ohio? They got Walmarts in Ravenna, Ohio, Cincinnati,
automated,
and some. They're empty. The meat.
Oh yeah.
They're having some kind of meat thing going around here, probably orchestrated, but it's going on. It's coming up on Facebook at people. So what's going to happen? Enough of that will happen, and pretty soon people will go buy meat when they don't need to and fill their freezers up, and there'll be a run on it, and then there won't be any. They know how.
Hey, there's only like
shit, man.
I think there's like 6 weeks of food in the whole world. You know what I mean? If they quit making it.
Right. Well, look at how they do the inventory in all the stores now because of the way that the taxes are on inventory and shit. A store, damn it, what do they call that when they got the stuff rolling in the day that they need it? I can't remember what kind of inventory keeping they call that.
That's kind of net 30.
I don't know. It's some kind of a name like that they use about it.
I mean, you got 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days to pay your bill. And when I was a purchasing agent, when you're building limos, you got to have the parts there, you know what I mean, on time. And I couldn't get the part. They start yelling at me, and they owe like Lincoln Mercury 80 grand. I'd have to give them 80 grand to get a $10 part to get a car out the door.
Yeah, just in time delivery. I guess that's probably what it is.
Yeah, that's it. Just
like
in
all
time.
my buddies, they work at in Chillicothe there. They build them Kenworth semi trucks, and a lot of the guys that I grew up with, they work down there, and they say that shit shows up like other than differentials, transmissions, engines, and shit like that will be unloaded in that morning, and they will be going into the trucks on the line on the night shift at night. That they don't keep that shit sitting around.
There might be some blackberries back here. But there's a hedge apple. Look at that. Block off. And look at that pointer. Yeah, Y right there.
Hey, you cut that firewood right there, and when it gets evening time, you see sparks coming off a chainsaw chain, buddy. That's some mean shit right there.
Hedge apple is like this. The natives made their arrows out of.
Well,
except they just pruned the tree until it got, it was high enough for an arrow. They just cut it off because that wood was so hard.
I'll tell you what, we tore a fence out that was right around 80 years old, and it had corner posts made out of hedge apple, and that shit was just as good as it was the day they put it in the ground. It was just as good a corner post.
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta get scratched.
I always wanted furniture, a table built out of that because it's so pretty. Orange, that orangey yellow.
Yeah. I think I came out by the interstate where I didn't want to, but damn storms that bitch.
Your storm's pretty much over, are they?
Oh, where the fuck am I at? Oh man. I'm gonna have all this shit's going to seed. That shit sticks in your socks just like needles, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it gets down in your shoes and rubs the side of your feet raw and shit like that.
It'll get in the lining of your tennis shoes all the way in there.
Brother, this last load of fucking hay is pure full of chiggers, and I have got them bitches all over my belly, under my arms. I got chigger bites.
I haven't got any chiggers in about 5 or 6 years.
I got them on my damn nutsack, man. Them bitches driving me crazy.
Oh, I took a girl picking blackberries and we sit on 5-gallon buckets. I told her to spray good. I never saw her again. She's so pissed. She got chiggers all over.
That's the most miserable thing you can get. There ain't nothing in the
Mad as hell.
Hell, he'll drive you nuts for 2 weeks, man, if you don't know how to kill them, because they lay in there and just wiggle and shit and just itch and carry on. I got a couple of them and I didn't get.
If you got to kill them, you got to put fingernail polish on them. That's what we always did.
Yeah, we actually got. Matter of fact, I'm getting ready to take off and go in town and get some Chigger Red. It's just clear.
Yeah, just like that.
It's just clear fingernail polish remover, and it's got some kind of anti-itch shit in it. Is the reason
I think
why.
we used to put a lighter fluid on them too. I think sometimes.
Yeah. Well, about anything, I guess.
Well, they have to suffocate while you use fingernail polish.
What's the baby oil? What's up? We'll plug that. They just got a little tube that sticks up out of your skin. They breathe out of it, and I guess baby oil will plug that up too.
You're not supposed to walk down the interstate or cross it, but I'm really thinking about it.
Yeah, you can get a ticket around here for that if you're doing it.
Well, I don't know if you know, I can run really fast.
You got to get a permit. Like if you got to move a tractor or something like that around here, if you got to take a piece of farm equipment down through there or something, you got to get a permit. Sometimes they escort you.
Yeah.
They don't want no farm equipment on these
on this side.
highways around here.
This is Georgia territory.
What kind of weed you get last night, brother?
I can't hear you.
What kind of weed did you get?
Huh?
I said, what kind of weed did you get last night? You said you got some good stuff.
Oh, it didn't have a name, but there's 3 different kinds in it. That's potent as shit. It's really good.
Oh, yeah, you probably.
It's really good. I took it too. It kind of smells like Blue Dream and like Bubba Kush or something. And some of it looks like Hawaiian, like the old skunk-looking indica, Alaskan thunderfuck looking shit.
Yeah, that beady-looking, gnarly-looking stuff.
Yeah, it smells good though. There's like there may be 4 different kinds there, but one of them reminds me of old skunk bud back in the day.
Hey, we'll catch you later, Dawn. And Michael Joshua Lewis and the Doodall Man.
What's up, Doodall? Doodall, I like it.
In the chat now.
You better be careful.
Ben in chat.
We don't want to associate with us bad guys. We knew it was going to be considered to be bad when you still believed in God and believed that Jesus was the Son. We knew it. Now we actually are being called the bad people. I'm glad to be bad.
Yes, me too. Yeah, it's unreal the slant to this, what they're doing, how they
Well, the world's sugar coated. You have to use a little vinegar to get through it.
I can't wrap my mind around it now. I used to be a fucking part of it, brother, and now I can't wrap my mind around it and understand it. It's a damnedest thing that's happened.
I know. I used to think almost like the opposite of what.
Yeah.
You know, the few, the proud. That's what I always say.
Hey, Bex.
I'm walking right through poison ivy. That'd be fun.
Just get home and get some acetone and wipe your legs down good, man.
I just don't care.
Oh, you don't get it?
I don't scratch it. I mean, you scratch it when you get it everywhere because you break it open and get the oil. And I got better. I've always had good willpower to not do scratch shit like that, you know?
I'm hyper allergic.
Mom would have to take gloves on my brother. He'd scratch that shit bloody in his sleep.
Yeah, I've got that shit up underneath my chin. I got poison ivy, even though I got this beard up in there. Cause my dog gets up on my belly and she roots up and snuggles up to me right here. Well, when them dogs go through them weeds, they pert that shit with their head and their nose, you know, weaving back and forth like that. So they've got that poison on.
A lot of people wear the clothes in the house. So if you get it in the woods and you got it over your clothes, and people don't take their clothes off and wash them, and if they get touch other clothes, the oil's on them. Yeah.
Well, see, when I walk through the woods, I get it all over my bootlaces and shit are ripping through it. And then when you untie your shoes, you get your hands, and then wherever you touch yourself after that, I've learned by being so sensitive to it how I was getting it because I started paying attention to that, and I was getting it off of my clothes and the animals.
And when I removed asbestos, you know, who died of cancer more than anybody? The wives of the workers, because they would bring the laundry home, and the laundry, you know, had all the dust in it. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's a cat. Ugh. What the hell? But, you know, and just like people that did brake jobs, because the brake pads were all made out of it too, you know?
Yep, and that's one thing that you do is take an air hose and blow that shit out of there, and it was real super fine because it's being worn off by a smooth drum. It's the finest shit there ever was.
Yeah, and what it does, it gets in the lining of your lungs, and your scar tissue covers it over and over until like 30 years you got no air capacity. You start wheezing. I mean, it takes 30 years to kill you, sometimes 40, if you breathe enough in, you know?
Well, that stuff killed old
Steve McQueen.
Steve McQueen quick, man. That stuff killed him pretty quick.
You know, you know what's worse than asbestos? Fiberglass. Because fiberglass will hurt your skin, and asbestos is like dirt. You can rub it all over you, don't do nothing. But, you know.
Yeah, I've been fiberglass most of my life. Hell, standing that shit and using it on them cars and at work and insulation.
Attic even, you know what I mean? Get that shit on you, you know how
your house is clear full of it. Yeah, and I used to work construction. I was always had fiberglass itches.
You ever fuck up with a battery or get acid on your shit and you wash it, you got holes and everything?
Hey, my son was using jumper cables on a riding tractor, trying to push snow with it, and the battery was bad. And him and my daughter was standing out there, and they were little, and he hooked that thing up. Well, little, I mean, he's like 11 or 12. And when he touched that jumper cable on there, it blew the top clear off. I couldn't even find it. The top and the post and everything was clear going off that battery. And both them kids was just got misted with that acid. And the old lady, I grabbed snow and got their faces and their skin that was exposed, wiped off, and it didn't hurt them any. You know, it was burning them a little bit. But them clothes were junk, man. When the old lady washed it, she threw them in the washer almost immediately, and it fried them, man. They were junk.
Yeah, it rots them quick. I used a can of Fix-A-Flat once, and luckily I had some Louis Vuitton sunglasses on, and when the can exploded, where the valve thing was, and it blew all over my face. But I had them sunglasses on, and it like etched into it, you know, maybe like grooves in it where it got on there. So I know it would have fucked in my eyes.
Yeah. Who knows what that shit is?
I know. I don't know what it is. I'll tell you what it is. It's called shit because those things never work right. I've never had one that gets all the air out. You don't get liquid sticky shit all over you. It's just stupid.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That stuff does work, though. In a bad situation, I've used it on a motorcycle.
The tire guys hate it, though, you know?
Well, yeah, because they don't want to have to change. I know. I worked up at a gas station, man. People bring him in there and have that full of that slime and that Fix-A-Flat and shit, and you got cleaned all out there. The worst thing I hated was the farmers that get a flat tire on a wagon or something and drag it through the feedlot and get it all packed full of shit and then bring it in there and want to change. You had to go out there and wash it out. And that old man I worked for at that gas station, he was a son of a bitch, man. I mean, he was a mean old fucker, dude. And he'd be back there, and hell, was only making $2 and something an hour, man. And they'd bring a stack of tires in there, have a back of a pickup truck clear full of tires, and half of them be all packed full of mud and shit and stuff. They've been dragging them around flat on a feed wagon.
I always like the feed store, you know.
Yeah, man, that's always it's a good environment. There's always people in there shooting shit and laughing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like that's like Norman Rockwell memories. You know what I mean?
Right, brother. It always smells like pipe smoke. There was always them old farmers smoked pipes and stuff, and that Captain Black and Borkum Rip tobacco and stuff. Man, I remember that. Yeah, I hung out in.
How about the old barber shop that had those ceiling fans way the fuck up there, and they all be smoking cigars?
Yeah, yep. I remember had the
sitting in their chairs, sitting around bullshit, you know.
Yeah, and them big old cast iron chairs with them real nice sit cushions and stuff. Even in the waiting area, they was all cast iron and had the angled feet on.
Hey, you know what they had hanging up on the walls where I lived? They had deer rack, you know, the buck up there, and they have a hornet's nest. The bigger the better. They had the limb cut off with it on there.
Yeah, there's one of our steakhouses around.
They had hornet's nests everywhere.
They got a bunch of hornet's nests up on the wall in there, and original wagon wheels, railroad lanterns. Hey, what the hell she went? I can't remember the name of that place. Is it Dakota's Roadhouse? And they get in the inside of it looks like the outside of it too. It's just turned inside out.
Have you ever been to Branson?
Branson, Missouri. Yeah, I used to drive semi truck, and I've been all
Yeah,
over the United States.
They have a thing down there called Dickie's Five and Dime, and they got all the old toys from when we were a kid in there. You know what I mean? Every one of them.
Man, you ever see that Iowa 80 truck stop?
Where?
The Iowa 80 truck stop on 80 there in Iowa. Man, it's the biggest damn.
I don't think I've ever been to. I've just been driving through there before. I think that's about it.
I'll tell you what, look that up on the internet, the Iowa 80 truck stop, dude. And you ain't never seen nothing like that, man. That place is a city.
Now they charge like $15 for a shower. Somebody told me at a truck stop.
What's that?
The shower's like $15 or something.
I don't know. I never did have to pay for them because every time I fueled my truck up, you get a free shower and
Yeah. Some guy told me though. Yeah, I was like,
well, hell, they ought to though. He's buying 300 gallon of daggone diesel fuel.
and they need a shower to get that lot lizard juice off of them.
Yeah, fucking dude. There's some of them. It's rough, man. I don't know what in the hell. There's this one girl come up and was talking to me. We was outside having trouble with our daggone somebody the gas caps that go on them reefer tanks. The tank that's underneath the truck for the diesel fuel on the reefer, or underneath the trailer. I mean, well, those are brass, and fuckers got to stealing them.
Yeah, and they got that screw on and the chain on it. I know each other.
Well, I got out in the rain, and that truck was boiling that water and just filled that tank full of water and road grime and shit, and the daggone reefer was shutting down. I couldn't keep filters on it and was having to stop and get it. So we was out there trying to get that thing drained, get that shit out of it. And that girl come up there and was talking to us, and her fucking pants were so dirty, Mark, that it was shiny right here on her front of her thigh. It was shiny like a mechanic's coveralls and shit.
I know, got a hard shell coating.
Oh, dude, I was like, man, that girl's nasty, buddy. I mean,
hey, I worked with guys when you had to wear a uniform. They just take it off and stand it in the corner.
Yeah, over where I worked in that factory, it was dirty as hell, and we had coveralls we put on just to protect our clothes. And man, well, hell, you couldn't wash them every damn day. They'd be wore out in a couple of months. So you just let them get dirtier and hell. Boy, some
shit you don't want to put in your washer with your clothes. You know what I mean? Just fuck everything up.
We had an old, they're in the shop over. We had an old Maytag washer because you manually drain them. The hose that stands up, you just lay it down, and we'd fill that full of paint thinner and wash our coveralls in that. We had a big.
When I was in high school,
mineral spirit.
I worked at my buddy's dad ran Charles Todd uniforms, laundry, and we would back then they pre-washed jeans, and there was a company that made the jeans right around the corner, Lee Jeans, Lee. Remember them?
Yeah.
They were designer jeans, one of a kind, right? And like it'd have a cowboy on one pocket, last one a coat on the other pocket, just all kinds of crazy shit like that, you know. And we'd pre-wash them, and sometimes they'd give it to us, and we'd have one of a kind pair of jeans wearing them. No, you know, because they did that. But we did all the jeans. We did all the uniforms. No, I don't think so.
They're not around anymore.
I don't think so. We did all the uniforms too for all the mechanics and all, rental uniforms. I mean, his dad ran the place, so we could stay there all night. We'd take the grate off, and we'd go through all that sludge and get like $100 worth of quarters, and then you get all the change. The dryers have them big old vented ones, There'd be a slot there, and you'd get in there and find rings, pocket knives, change, you name it.
Hey, man, when we was little kids, one of my buddies, he found a bunch of $20 bills in a washing machine up there in the laundromat.
Oh yeah.
So
that was clean money.
Well, you're right. And do you know why that was in there? Them damn old moonshiners had buried their money. And if you bury money and you don't wash it, it'll mold up and it'll just be junk when you get it back. So they take it in there.
Oh, it'll be half gone. It'll just be gone. It just goes away.
It'll disintegrate. So they'd run in there and run it through that washing machine with bleach, the water, and detergent, and get all the oils and everything out of everybody's skin and shit washed out of that money. And then they could bury it or keep it somewhere for a long period of time without it molding and mildewing up and destroying it.
But my great grandfather, he had a stroke and they never did find because they used to bury all the gold and silver. And they checked the whole holler and everywhere with metal detectors. And if someone ever found it, they never told. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why these people at Metal Detect, they come around out there on the farm and places like this. Because, see, there's like an old home place down here on the end of my property and probably another one up there on top of the hill. And they like metal detecting them because them old people did go out and bury it. They used their yard for their bank. And they find them old jars, them old mason jars, them zinc lids on them, stacked clear full of coins.
Silver dollars.
Yeah. Yeah, that's usually what it is, a silver dollar.
Yeah. Yep. People find a lot. Sometimes they find a mother lode doing that shit, you know?
Well, hell, every now and then you'll cut an old tree down or something and somebody's been using it to keep shit in.
Yeah, because somebody dies and don't tell nobody, and then no one knows, that shit just gets grown over.
Well, they find these houses with money in the walls.
Oh, yeah.
A shitload of it, too, man, where people was keeping money in the walls.
And they died like poor, barely eating. Most people like that, they just hoarded the money.
That's the way one of my grandmas is like that. She lived and shit, and we as kids would go over, and if you turn an outside water faucet on or something, she'd come out there and just switch it, ask for spraying water or something.
And the ones that lived through the Depression always had a giant pantry with every kind of canned food in the world.
Yeah. Well, what she would do, she'd buy all this canned food and stuff like that and have so much of it, she'd give it to all the kids when they'd come over.
Oh, yeah, that's just like Grandma did, though.
Yeah, she said, and she'd stand there and she goes, I had to buy that whole that whole flat of green beans. She said those things was only 35 cents a can. You know, you couldn't pass that deal up.
Oh, we always got jelly and jam in the in the fall, and that's when we got. I do too. I mean, they'd bring you over for Christmas. You'd have a bunch of mason jars, with a little ribbon around of every kind of food.
Yeah, all of my grandparents are dead. My wife, her grandmother's still alive, and we used to get jams and jellies and stuff like that for Christmas. And the last year we got
I always got along. I used to stay with my grandparents. I loved it.
That old woman got so old, she got to losing her mind. Hell, she made jelly for everybody, and you could pour that shit out of the jar like
put enough of that.
Yeah, the last we got, it was good, but it wasn't thick. And then she's just too old, and we haven't got Christmas gifts like that now for 3 or 4 years, and kind of miss it.
Hey, we used to trick or treat and then we'd take cookies and muffins from people. You know what I mean? It was like didn't have to worry about it back then. I never knew anybody ate a razor blade and an apple. I think that was just fear tactic.
Dude, that's that fear-based mind control. They was doing the same thing back then.
I never heard of anybody.
You know, something I was always worried about somebody putting drugs in something and giving it to you. You know, I was brought up worried about that when I was a kid.
Yeah, but I ignored it because I like the taste better than the rest.
Yeah, but nobody will. I'm sure that's happened. Especially in cases like date rape and shit like that. But I'm talking about they make
probably
it look like
the mean uncle or grandma is usually somebody within the family doing that shit to their own family. They don't usually do that shit to strangers. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you can take the worst criminal in the world and throw some kid or a little girl in a puddle of water, and people don't even think about their own safety when they go to save somebody. That's just the way we are. You can say what you want about America, but everybody's a hero at the right moment.
Yeah, there is a lot of good in people. There is.
Yeah, and that's what I've been getting sick of, because that's all they're doing. All the shit they've been getting everybody to say about our country sucking is all bullshit propaganda. You know what I mean? I never see all this stupid shit they used to say on TV about racism, I never seen any of that shit here. None of the shit they ever said.
I haven't either. That's what I said. And where they say that exists is right here where I live, and where all these hillbillies and rednecks.
They don't want to say that, so nobody will move there.
And that's the biggest load of shit there ever was. There's black people that live around here. They grew up around here. There's Mexicans here. We've got there's all kinds of people from our Middle East here.
And really, the neighborhood and the environment, when you have everybody there, it's better. It is.
Yeah, and you go to a yard sale, you go down here at the Amish market, and you can look around. There's white people, Mexicans, black people, and you got them, the ones you wouldn't think would fit in, the Hodge. I just call them Hodge because I was in the military, Hodgie.
Yeah, a lot of them are here, though, are good people, though.
Well, they are. Everybody gets along. Everybody's standing there talking, and and going on, and it's just a group of people. I don't give a shit.
You know, that people don't get it right. It's called radical Muslims. That's the difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you got radical Americans too, man. You got the same problem with everybody. And anybody that
and we got
doesn't have
now we got a no child left behind city full of short buses.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all that did. No child left behind means dumbing down America.
But everybody get along around here fine. I see when you go in the cities is where everybody's fighting and shit and carrying on, man, and acting like that.
This stuff ain't getting enough sun. It's not gonna take a couple more days. But the ones that are in the shade are always best, you know.
Yeah. That's mine are all shaded too. That's another reason why I don't think because I got a thick canopy up there. Some of them trees need to be thinned out.
As long as they get like morning sun, the ones in the shade will be twice as big as the ones in the sun. And there hasn't been any Japanese beetle on one yet. I haven't even heard any. And
Hey,
they always been real bad on them every time I've came.
Brother, where's all I got them cattle out there is the only place you can find flies on their face. You can go down here and
Hey,
chickens
hey,
and stuff with that
you couldn't even go outside and eat anything, or a fly would be on your shit.
Right.
I don't care where you were.
Flies, Japanese beetles. I'm not getting mosquito bit.
I'm not at all. Look at this. It's just been raining for days. I'm out here, and you don't even hear me. And there's no ants either.
Right, and no ants. Where's all the lightning bugs at? Do you normally have lightning bugs around there?
Oh yeah, we don't have hummingbirds either anymore.
Yeah, well, I got one hummingbird back. I got hummingbird feeders out here, and he's the same one. You know them hummingbirds come back to the same place.
In the food chain, the bugs are the first thing in the food chain.
Yes, that's why I'm talking about this, and I'm taking a notice on it. And well, our chickens, when we turn them loose, they're out. That's what they're eating mostly is all them bugs. Hey,
there's a video on YouTube that shows what can happen if different bugs disappeared. How quick society would affect the whole. I mean, but then there's a different timeline. But eventually, everything that happens, everything will die. It just takes longer for some than the other. Just by one bug dying.
Well, Rowan's putting in here divide and conquer. He put in most city dwellers are more mind controlled, unfortunately. And then the last thing he put here, they are doing a slow kill. They want to bring in transhumanism. And yes, brother, you're right. And I think that all the abandoned houses and buildings that we see are because there's less people, and they're saying that the population is increasing.
But and you know what? They got people so worried about themselves. No one asked where they went either.
Right. That's exactly right, brother. And there are everywhere you go, the outer skirts of town stuff, there is abandoned buildings everywhere out here in the country. I'd say every fifth house that you see set in the yards all growed up and stuff like that out here.
Hey, yeah, in this town, you wouldn't see any houses without windows ever because they get a fine for it. They call them slumlords. Well, then I noticed when they stop doing anything, they don't make people pick up their yard. You can have cars in it they just quit caring, I think. Or they know something we don't. I mean, why you can't push all that shit,
They'll work the ground after somebody dies, but the homestead sets and it's empty for so long that they eventually just tear it down. There's a bunch of that been going on for 20 years. But it's unreal the amount of daggone abandoned buildings.
Hell, even when I was young, you could go out and find a house full of shit with nobody in it. Their car would be in the driveway.
Yes. Hey, look at this. Start watching these urban explorers here on YouTube, man. Like,
I've watched where I go to those where they go to the old houses.
Yeah, man. And nothing's been touched. There's still food in the refrigerator. The power's still on and shit. And it's been sitting like that since the 70s.
Because the newspaper and everything. And you can tell by this. Hey, look. There's a turtle. Look, there's a terrapin and walk right to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I got them all over the place down here.
Yeah, they live in the 1 square mile. You know what?
Box turtle. Yeah, they spend their whole life here. I've been finding them dead too. I've been finding just their shells.
Well, I normally do. Last year, and the year before last, I found 10 of them, 10 shells. And then one day, somebody asked me about it, and I said I'd rather find them alive. I never found a dead one like the rest of the summer. They were all alive, every one of them.
I'll be, because I mentioned that there last fall. I think I was finding them dead, finding shells all over my property here. Or, well, I mean, not all over, but I found 2 or 3 of them.
Hey, last week I was doing a live stream or something, and I think it was Michigander asked me what my truck was. And I said it was an Ford F-150. Then when I got back, turned on YouTube, the first thing he showed me was a Ford F-150 getting hit by a big old truck.
Damn.
Yeah. Radical Flyer. Hey, look, it's Radical Ralph, the Flyer.
How's your truck doing?
Good.
Good. So
Real good.
no problems developed from setting all that time.
No.
Sometimes,
But I change the oil every year, though. You know.
Every year. Oh, when it was setting. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Hey,
I went ahead and
that's
drained it. You know?
Yeah, because people don't know, but acids build up in that, man, and it literally starts eroding metal and shit. Is the reason why you want to.
Well, I could drive it right now, even when I go to the store, but I got two 17-inch tires. That guy gave me the trade for some 16s, and you know I've been having to air that tire up, and I don't even have a jack right now. I got to go buy one. So my luck, I could drive to Walmart and I get a flat, and you know it's just gonna be a hassle. I'm not gonna call a wrecker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm patient. I always wait. I walk anyway.
That's the best thing to do. Do that walking.
I don't get in a hurry. I don't do nothing because you have gray hair.
Yeah. I have a heck of a time with my youngest boy in that being in a hurry, man. Evening Christmas. We end up getting an argument with about that shit every time we get to doing something. He's in such a fucking hurry all the time.
That's like sitting around doing nothing with somebody smoking a joint with 3 people and they're like, pass that thing. I'm like, are you going to the fucking race?
Yeah.
I always tell us like, there's no rules, dude. Don't be telling me to do nothing. Especially if I roll it. I'll take 10 hits if I want to.
I'll tell my wife that all the time. She kind of grew up in a household where there was all these rules where shit had to be done this way on this day for whatever, and they really don't exist. And when we first got
no.
I kept telling them, like,
I tell people this ain't fucking high school. Quit trying to teach me.
Yeah. And I'd think, why in the fuck do you think that this has to be done? What? And I mean, she'd be all up answering at the bit and everything. And then, I was doing the same thing. And damn Marine Corps done the same thing to me.
Yeah, you know why? Because it's a habit. You don't even think about it when it's a habit. You just do it. That's all.
And I realized that's the way it was with her. She just grew up and, you know, and you can't see that. You gotta have somebody.
Because, you know, that's how we learn. We learn by habit, by repetition. So after you do it so long, you don't have to think about it. You just do it automatically without even thinking about it. And that's supposed to be, you know, making you smart. But teaching people how to memorize is not intelligence. You know what I mean? Taking something hard and making it easier, that's knowledge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Rowan, homeless people, when that shit was happening down there in Florida and Texas and all that stuff and them storms, there's a veteran that went down there and he was sitting and crying, sobbing on a video of where he said, I'm afraid that they have just taken and euthanized thousands.
They said they're killing us. I saw that.
Yeah. Yep. That's sad, man. Just never take a man like that a liar.
They were doing that in the Las Vegas streets. They were going around and just picking up the homeless people in these buses, and they never came back.
Yeah, and then nobody ever saw them, and there was no answers for where they went.
Well, most of them, they've gotten pulled over or fucked with by the cops till they look and see ones that don't have a family. That's the ones they get rid of.
You know, they made a movie. Do you remember that movie called The Hunted or something where they were doing that? They had people that went out and found them men that didn't have any. They were using the homeless shelters.
Yeah, and they got a hold of Ice-T.
Yep. And it was called The Hunted or something.
Ice-T was a Green Beret.
They wanted combat veterans because they were hunting them, and it was more sport to hunt a combat vet because he was trained in evasion and elusion, and you know he wouldn't freeze up and would actually run and try to. And it was sick. And I guarantee you that's the truth. That movie that they done that shit.
Yeah, because they had all those heads. They had all those heads they cut off of the people they killed.
Yes.
Oh, there's no telling this shit we don't hear.
I know.
I know people say a lot of those senators and congressmen would go to third world countries just to have sex with, like, you know, preteen girls. It's just custom there. That was a long time ago.
There's some sick.
You know, people are paying them to do that. Yeah.
I cannot wrap my mind around why a man wouldn't want a good, mature woman with hips and breasts.
You know why? They're not a man. They're a demon. They're possessed. A man couldn't do that. They're possessed by evil shit. That's all there's to it. I mean, that's got to be. You know what? That's why you can never figure out why somebody would do it, because it's not a human. I mean, it's somebody possessed. It makes sense to me. Because, like, even after Lee Harvey Oswald was his name, even after he shot Jack Ruby, he fell down and, like, woke up out of a trance, and he said, what? He didn't even know what he did. Like he was hypnotized.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He didn't remember shooting him or nothing. Like, he just woke up and he was there. Like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, there's a lot written about that CIA mind control, and that he was a twin or something like that. And Lee Harvey Oswald was in
these veterans that go around and they go ballistic and kill like 10 people, but they just signed up for a year in college and were smart, and it don't make sense. You know what I mean?
Hey, when I had that cancer, man, I sat on that chemo, and all I could do was sit and watch YouTube. You know who pulled the trigger on Kennedy?
Johnson. I mean, oh, who did it? You mean person? Lee Harvey, Oliver North.
Well,
I mean, I don't
he's
know
wrapped up in it. I'll tell you who they.
George Bush is the one who was ahead of it. I know that.
Oh, he was the head of it, right? And Mark and Donnie Wahlberg's dad.
Oh, really?
He was standing in the sewer alongside the road.
Hey, you know, and talk about in your face, Mark Wahlberg played the Sniper movie where he's killing all the cops, his old people, remember?
Okay, well, now you know why Mark and Donnie Wahlberg have got movie careers.
And hamburgers. And hamburgers.
Right. They tied.
And their brother and their mom, everybody's all on TV.
Right. They tied all this in, and that's the way that works. And you do something like that, those are the kind of deals that you get. But he was, you know, you look in them, you know, the little slits that look like gun ports alongside the road that the water runs in out of the ditches. You can stand up in them. Those are sunk. And that's where he was standing there. And I got to thinking about that.
I've been in them before.
Yeah, and just my military training and everything, dude. That is the absolute best place to be if he's going to do.
And you know what it makes you think of? It makes you think of that Stephen King movie, It.
Yeah.
That fucking clown.
Dude, I just got goosebumps thinking about that damn movie. That's the creepiest movie he ever made, right?
Well, you know, that is the creepiest shit. Think about a kid, a little kid, what they fucking does to them.
Yeah.
It probably gives them nightmares for a long fucking time, you know?
Yeah, my kids, I was stupid and let my kids watch that.
Oh, my son was like, what's wrong? Freddy Krueger's chasing me.
Yeah.
You know, like, hey, I bet, you know.
Yeah, I wish I had it to do over again, man, and keep it, and I'd have kept.
Yeah, but I was letting my kid watch Disney movies because I thought it was good for him.
Yeah, well, my kids watched them too. I can remember going and renting them. I never did like it too many of them.
Last time, like 101 Dalmatians or whatever, he'd watch it over and over and over.
My oldest boy loved that movie Mask with Jim Carrey in it.
Oh, I did too. That's a funny. My name is Cuban Pete.
Yeah.
I like a liar too.
My oldest boy Casey, the one that's in here, comes in here and Tony's and shit like that. He used to stand there when he was about a year old. He could when he was 8 or 9 months old, he could talk to you. That boy was talking and walking. I'm not shitting you a bit. I never saw anything like it. They called him a little midget because he was. Was he
laying hands on you at 3?
No. But he was ahead of his time in talking and walking. But he'd be standing there. Hell, he's only about 10 months old, and he'd come up and go smoking from that damn movie.
Yeah.
He started talking real quick, man. And how old was he when he rode bicycle without training wheels, Mary?
Let's see, he would have been 15, probably about 18 months old.
Yeah, at 18 months old, they took the training wheels off his bicycle while he's over to his grandma and grandpa's. He come home riding his bicycle without no training wheels on.
Yeah, my son was crazy like that on dirt bikes and all that shit. Wide open.
Yeah, they all.
I mean, he skateboarded and he'd jump on that. I mean, he was crazy. I didn't even like watching him skateboard because he's fearless when it comes to shit.
Man, we used to tow them things behind cars and shit.
Yeah, me too. And roller skates, skateboards, whatever.
Yeah, bicycles, shit. We used to go back here.
Car hoods, truck hood.
Yeah, we used to ride them car hoods in the snow. Yeah.
Yeah, I got fucked up a few times. We ran around the corner and threw us the barbed wire fence, you know, and they don't stop. They just drag you through it.
Well, I'll tell you something else that happens. You get the wind blows a bare spot off on the road, and that hood gets red hot. we're not sitting on.
That'll heat your ass up after a minute.
Yeah, you see everybody start bailing off there.
Yeah, man, my buddy whose dad did it. They were always drunk, so they would just turn the corner and sling us into the barbed wire and laugh.
Yeah, now that was something there, that drinking and driving shit. Hell, when I was a kid growing up, everybody on the farm and stuff, when he's out bailing, they's always drinking and shit and hauling that hay around. And like you said,
if you're drunk, you just put your 3 or 4-year-old in the middle and let them drive.
Yeah, that's put
it between your legs and let them do the steering. You know what I
mean? Yeah, and now that shit's all a horrible sin and against the law and everything. But now I never did see nobody get shit faced drunk and go nuts like they do now. You'll see somebody just tearing town clear apart or something like that, and they'll be drunk off.
They were too tired back then. They worked.
Yeah, it was just a different breed of people, man. A different kind of people, different attitude, different ethic. They were more godly.
You could get your ass whipped and you didn't hate your parents.
Right. Yeah. My kids.
I'm just glad, you know, as wild hair as I am, I just can't imagine what I'd been like if I didn't have, you know, stable upbringing until I was at least 6 years old. And, you know, that's when you're forming everything, I guess, before you get 7.
Yeah, Rowan, when he says, they ask him what he was doing, he goes, "I'm kicking my own ass." Yeah. He says the best scene in Liar was him saying, "I'm kicking my own ass."
Oh, no, one lady said, "Have you ever had better?" He goes, "How was sex?" He goes, "I've had better." Oh, here. Hey, look. Here's one for code.
Yeah, the pink one.
Pinky Tuscadero. Man,
hey, that was what, Happy Days?
Yep, that's Fonzie's
girlfriend. Race car driver. Pinky Tuscadero. Yeah.
Yeah, she was like a tough chick. Nowadays, she would have been in a prison movie as a lesbian.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, she looked like a Linda Ronstadt.
Hey, I never liked her. Jerry Brown, you know, she was all part of it.
Jerry.
Yeah,
Brown,
I like Raquel Welch and Margaret, Sophia Loren, you know, Elizabeth Taylor. Natalie Wood. Oh man, she was like one of the most beautiful women ever. Natural.
Oh yeah. Yeah, natural woman.
I like Katharine Hepburn too when she was young. I think like Breakfast at Tiffany's.
She was beautiful when she was young, man.
Oh, and Elizabeth Taylor when she did that Black Beauty movie or whatever.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
That's a Black Horse. 50s probably.
Oh yeah, the movie. Okay, Black Beauty, the horse.
That's what made her famous. That's whatever, you know.
Okay.
I got cotton throat.
Rowan said his mom was Indian and his dad was Irish.
Yeah, but I'm the opposite. My dad's Indian, my mom's Irish.
Yeah, I get Indian from both sides of my family. They got
my mom's maiden name was Murphy. You know what I mean? Pretty Irish.
Yeah, that's a pretty popular name too.
I did that. I was stupid. My sister, I did that 23andMe for her because she wanted to know her heritage, you know. And you can't you have to have both of them, you know, the male and the female. And I got Scandinavian and what do you call it? I don't even believe that shit. Neanderthal, whatever that had more of that, and 8% African. No, Native American. Crazy. Yeah, it says I have like 2,800 relatives in the United States.
Oh, it even tells you how many relatives you got, huh?
Yeah, and every time somebody goes on there, it comes to give you a notification that another relative joined.
Huh.
Man, I think it's a fucking poppycock. I think they're just looking for bloodlines.
Yeah, that's what I was just getting ready to say. They're establishing them bloodlines, and that's exactly how.
Because actually, Dr. Phil, motherfucker, his one of his sons married a triplet, and so all three of them sent in things to 23andMe, and they all three came back different. So they, you know, so there's no way they could all three be different if they're triplets. You know what I mean? Should all been the same.
Yep.
And you know what they said? They said my mom's sister, the only relative I got left, they said that she was my sister. That weird. I was like, that doesn't make sense. Unless my mom had a kid and didn't tell anybody, my grandma raised her. I don't think so, you know what I mean?
Damn, boy, that Rowan is a big fucker, ain't he? He just put in there that he's 6'2". I thought he was like 5'9", 5'10", or something like that, and had them guns like that. But he says he's 6'2" and 285 pounds. Holy shit, dude!
You can just tell by the way he carries his voice that he don't take no shit.
I knew he was big, but I didn't know he was a freaking giant. Jiminy Christmas. That's one of them fuckers, and they get out of the car raises up about 3 inches.
Everything's big in Texas.
Yep.
Yeah. Look, there's the back of my truck. I got tires down there waiting. Got spare.
Yeah, that's what the paint on my old Ford truck's doing the exact same thing yours is, man. Mine's green there.
Well, that's because whenever people originally, after somebody detailed it, they're lazy and they laid up on that hood and put down the bumper too hard and rubbed off the clear coat.
No, yeah, that's what's the matter. Mine's a clear coat.
That's what happens on the fenders and everything. People are lazy and they rub all the clear coat off with the bumper. I used to detail cars. I mean, you can see it on like one car lot. If the ones that didn't sell, it'd be the same on every car because the same person buffed them all. Some idiot they hired, you know.
Yep. Use that rubbing compound, ground her off.
Yeah, and it's finesse. You don't got to push down. That's why it's heavy. People are retarded.
I was talking to Kylie.
Yep.
You know, I worked at the limousine company, and they would pay for everybody's tool repair, right? And our compressors would squirt out a fucking water hose, you know, with an air blower. And they would fix all their tools, but guess what? No one ever came and got tool oil once. And I told them they're stupid for fixing them because they weren't oiling them, you know?
Yeah. I'd buy them oilers, the inline oilers that snapped on.
Yeah, we had them too, but
put them on
this is a shitty system. But you know what?
Yeah.
We went through thousands of dollars of drill bits a month because of car buy and all that shit. Well, I made them start bringing me back all the drill bits. And I bought one of those J.C. Whitney drill bit sharpeners. And then for the next 4 years, I sharpened them all. And then when I quit there, I went to another limousine company and sold them for like $1,200.
Yeah. I
they threw them away. So
I can freehand sharpen drill bits, man. That's something my dad taught me when I was a kid.
I do it now with I start resharpening razor blades, anything with a file. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, you use it as a draw file.
Yeah, and I got one of those metal rods too, and I got a sharpener and a stone. I mean, I know how to use them all.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about, you use a grinder wheel, an electric grinder, a bench grinder.
Well, I do that, making knives out of like, you know, files or, you know, big.
Yeah. I'm talking about sharpening drill bits, but how you get that angle right, man, put that.
Oh, yeah. I bought that sharpener and it just suggested to you to put whatever it was. That thing is killer.
That's really the way to do it, but you can sharpen them free.
It's got a chuck in there with like 50 different teeth, you know, when you tighten it down, it gives it the exact angle, you know, and it's so easy.
Yeah, it indexes it.
It's got a little wheel in there, and you just like pull it down, and you go, and it's sharpened, you know. Because you can sharpen one 1,000 times if you don't break it or anything.
Right. Those drill doctors are actually the best thing, but they're kind of expensive, man. I think they're a couple $100 or something.
That's why I ordered it off J.C. Whitney, the one I had. It was probably a couple $100.
And Rowan says
I bought it for work.
He says he's got weights in his living room.
I believe it.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, well, I'm going to get up here. I'm going to eat something.
All right,
Thanks
brother.
for coming.
I'll catch you later, man.
All right, see you people.
See you everybody in chat.